Hello, it's Sonia here with the Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be doing an 18-inch doll project, or a project to fit a doll like American Girl. There's all different types of 18-inch dolls. We have American Girl dolls, but I know there's Canadian Girl dolls, Australian Girl dolls. One's called My Life. I just heard of a brand called, I think they're called Springfield. So all different types of 18-inch dolls. And we're going to be making a top, and this is an old pattern that I made back in, I think, 2011, I guess 13 years ago. So I do have a written pattern for this project. I can put a link for that if you want to check that out. But we're going to get started. So this project is made with a G or 4.25 millimeter hook and DK weight yarn. So I have this pink here. And this project can be a top or a dress, but we're going to do the top version. So what we're going to do to get started is we're going to chain 6. So I have my 6 chains here. So we are going to work in the back bump of our chain. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from our hook in that back bump. So I'm just working a single crochet, and we're going to single crochet across. So this is row 1. At the end of row 1, we're going to have 5 single crochet. So there we go, we've got our 5 single crochet. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So this is row 2. So we're going to single crochet right in this first stitch here. And we're going to single crochet across. And again, we will have 5 single crochet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to repeat row 2 up to row 51. So we're going to work 51 rows just single crocheting across. So I am going to do that off camera, and I will meet you back at the end of my row 51. Okay, so I've worked my 51 rows. So our odd rows will be the right side for this project. So now we are going to turn this into a circle. So this is my right side facing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to have the right sides touching. And in my original pattern, I actually said to cut it and then sew it, but we're not doing that because I don't like sewing. Not sure why I did that, but again, I made this pattern 13 years ago, and I was very new in my pattern making journey. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch across the ends of these rows. So I'm just going to insert my hook into that first stitch and in the first stitch at the ends of row 1, and I'm going to work a slip stitch. So this is going to be the top of our top. So I'm just going in that next stitch and working that slip stitch. Now if you wanted to, I mean, by all means you could sew it, but again, I try to avoid ends as much as I can. In this project there will be some ends, so I'm trying to keep the ends down, so less finishing. Okay, so now we have created our circle, so then we're going to turn it right side out. So this, where the seam is, will be the back of our top here. Okay, so now we're going to be working in rounds. So I am going to chain 1. This will be round 1. And I'm going to single crochet in that seam. And we're just going to continue to single crochet all the way around. And we are going to be working 51 single crochet. So we're working on the ends of our rows here. So I have 3 stitches, 4, so we're going to work 51 total of single crochet all the way around. So I'm going to keep going here, working my 51 single crochet, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I finished up round 1. So now we are going to join in the back loop of our first stitch here with a slip stitch. And now we're ready for round 2. So round 2, we're going to chain 1 and we're just going to single crochet in that stitch in that back loop, and we're going to continue to single crochet all the way around in the back loop. And again, we will have 51 single crochet working in the back loop, and then at the end of your round 2 you can join with a slip stitch in your first stitch, and you can join in both loops. So I'm going to keep going, working my 51 single crochet in my back loop, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am joining in both loops in that first stitch to complete round 2. So now we're ready for round 3. So round 3, we are going to chain 5, and this chain 5 is going to consist of a double crochet and a chain 2 space. So now we're going to skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and we're going to double crochet in the next. And we're going to chain 2 again. We're going to skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and double crochet in that next stitch. Okay, so now we're going to keep doing that. We're just going to keep chaining 2, skipping 2 stitches, and working a double crochet in the next all the way around. So I will meet you back at the end of round 3 here. Okay, so I'm at the end of my round here, so to finish up we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to go back to our chain 5. So I just like to count back. So here is 1 chain, 2 chain, 3. On top of that 3rd chain I'm working my slip stitch, and then we have our chain. So at the end of this round you will have 17 chain 2 spaces. So let's begin round 4. We're going to be doing some increasing, so we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet right on top of that chain 3, and we are going to work 2 single crochet in the next stitch and around that chain 2 space here, and we're going to single crochet on top of that next double crochet, and we're going to work 2 single crochet in the next. So what we're going to do is we want to work a total of 16 single crochet, but in each chain 2 space we're working 2 single crochet. In each double crochet we're working 1 single crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we worked that single crochet, that's stitch 16. We're going to pop in another one to work our decrease. So there is our first decrease. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to count 16 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now we need to increase, so we're going to pop in that increase. So we have 2, so this is our increase. But we are actually going to put another stitch in this chain 2 space. So this is going to be stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have our 16 stitches. So we're going to increase. I'm sorry, am I saying decrease? We're increasing in the next. So we're going to pop in 2 in that next, and then our last chain 2 space, we're just working the 2. So basically what we're doing in this round is we want to increase 3 times. So we'll have a total of 54 stitches instead of 51. So if counting is getting confusing for you, what you can do is you can just evenly space out the increases, you know, just pop in 3 extra stitches wherever you want, so that you have a total of 54 single crochet at the end of this row. Okay, so we are going to join with a slip stitch in the back loop of that first single crochet, chaining 1, and we're going to single crochet all the way around in the back loop for round 5 here. So we're going to have 54 single crochet at the end of this round. So I'm going to keep going. So then you can join with a slip stitch in both loops in that first stitch at the end of round 5. Okay, so let's begin round 6. So round 6 is going to be a repeat of round 3. So we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. We're going to skip 2 stitches and double crochet in the next. So at the end of round 6 here, we will have 18 chain 2 spaces. We started off with 17. Now we'll have an extra one. So at the end of this round, we're skipping 2, working that double crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next. So at the end of the round, you're going to join on top of that chain 3 here. So we're creating that final chain 2 space there. So chaining 2 and skipping 2. So I am going to keep going here, and I will meet you back at the end of round 6. Okay, so I finished up my round 6. So I have my 18 chain 2 spaces. So now I'm going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet right in that same stitch for round 7. So round 7 is going to be a repeat of round 3. We want to increase by 3. So wherever you want to pop in those 3 extra stitches, wherever you want to pop in the extra 3 stitches, you can either pop in 2 in the double crochet or 3 in the chain 2 spaces. Just kind of space them out evenly, and then at the end of this round you will have 57 stitches instead of 54 because we're increasing by 3. Okay, so now at the end of round 7 here, we're going to join in that back loop again. And we're going to be, for round 8, we're going to be repeating round 5. So we're just working in that back loops all the way around, working our single crochet, and you should have 57 single crochet. And then for round 9, you're going to be repeating round 3, so that is our double crochet chain 2 space round, and you will have 19 chain 2 spaces at the end of round 9. So I'm going to work my rounds 8 and 9 here. Okay, so I finished up my round 9, so let's work round 10. So round 10, we're going to repeat round 4 again by increasing by 3, not decreasing. I'm not sure why I'm so fixated by decreasing, because we're not doing that. So I worked my single crochet here and my 2 single crochet in that chain 2 space, and then I will work 3 extra stitches somewhere in this round. So at the end of round 10 here, I will have 60 stitches. And then for round 11, you're going to repeat round 5. So you're going to work in the back loops all the way around, working your single crochet, and you will have 60 single crochet. Then at the end of round 11, we will join in both loops at the end of round 11, and you can cut your yarn. Okay, so here we go. I cut my yarn at the end of round 11 here. So now we're going to get ready to cover up these holes here, because like I said, it looks kind of like a cage. Not what we're going for here. So if we're looking at the construction here, this part is the top of our top, and then this will be the bottom part. So we are going to turn it upside down. We want the right side facing, and this is the back of our top here, and we're going to attach our yarn in the first unused loop. We're going to be working on some ruffles here. So here is that first loop. It's kind of crunched in there. Sorry, my battery died, but here we go. We are going to attach our yarn. We're having it upside down. This is the back of our top here, and we're going to attach yarn in that first unused loop there. And you could use different colors for the ruffles if you wanted to, but I'm going to be using up this pink. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1, and we're going to work a half double crochet in that first unused loop. And we're going to half double crochet in the next unused loop. And we're going to work 2 half double crochet in the next one. So we are increasing again, not decreasing, increasing. So we're adding stitches. So there we go. So now we're going to keep going. We're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next loop, 1 in the next. So this is our repeat here, and then we're going to work 2 in the next one. And we're going to do that all the way around. So you're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 2 unused loops and 2 half double crochet in the next. And then at the end of your round, you're going to join, and we will have 68 half double crochet. So I'm going to keep going here, and I will meet you back. Okay, so we have our 68 half double crochet. I'm just going to join on top of that first one here. And we're beginning round 2 of our first ruffle. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to half double crochet right back in that first stitch there, and we're going to increase again. We're going to work 2 half double crochet in the next one. We're going to half double crochet in the next stitch. This is the beginning of our repeat, and we're working 2 half double crochet in the next. So working half double crochet in the next stitch and 2 in the next. So I'm going to keep going here, working my second round of my first ruffle, and then at the end of this round we will have 102 half double crochet. Okay, so I finished up round 2. I have 102 half double crochet. I'm going to join on top of my first one with a slip stitch, and now we're ready for round 3 of our first ruffle. We're going to chain 3. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch, and we're just going to continue to double crochet around, so you will have 102 double crochet, and that first chain 3 will count as a stitch. And then for round 4 we're going to work a half double crochet round. So what you'll do after you join on top of your chain 3, you'll chain 1 half double crochet in that stitch, and then just half double crochet all the way around for round 4, and then we'll have one more round of our first ruffle for round 5. So I will meet you back at the end of round 4. Okay, so I am at the end of my round 4 of my first ruffle, and I'm going to change to another color, just a soft white here, like a cream colored white, and then I'm going to join in my first stitch there, and we have one more round of our first ruffle that we need to make. So we are going to chain 1, and we're going to work reverse single crochet or crab stitch all the way around. So if you've never done that before, when you're working regular single crochet, so I'm a right-handed crocheter, I crochet from right to left. If you're a left-handed crocheter, you crochet from left to right. But when you're working reverse single crochet, I am going to crochet from left to right. So I usually point my hook down, put it in that stitch, and then, whoops, I think I didn't get all my loops there. Let's try that again. There we go. So it's a little bit awkward, but it's not too hard, and it just creates a really nice finish. So going in that next stitch, and I do have a tutorial that goes over this stitch in more detail. I can link if you're having trouble. But we're just going to work this all the way around. And then what you're going to do is, so this is round 5, you're going to repeat rounds 1 through 5 for 3 more ruffles. So in that unused back loop here, here, and here, we're going to do that. So I am going to finish up this round 5, then I'm going to work my other 3 ruffles, and then we are going to finish up here. We're going to make some ties on the top and add some trim, so we still have a little bit of finishing to do. So I will meet you back when I've completed all of my ruffles. Okay, so here we go. Here is my top. I've got my ruffles all done. Of course, I'll need to weave in some ends. And now we're going to work on the ties here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the back of our project. So focus. Thank you. So here is our seam here. So we are going to want to attach our yarn at the seam, and the same color that we used to work the beginning here, we're going to want to use again. So I'm just going to attach my yarn at that seam. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in that stitch. And now I'm going to continue to single crochet at the ends of my rows here. I'm going to work 25 more single crochet. So we'll have a total of 26. So we'll be in about the middle of our project, and we will start working on the ties because they are going to be crocheted right on here. So my original pattern, I attached the ties separately, but I'm going to, again, less ends to weave in, so I'm going to try it this way. So I'm going to keep going here, working my 26. Okay, so I have 26 single crochet. So let's begin chaining for the ties. So we're going to chain 50. Okay, so I've got my 50 chains here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to create a little decorative bobble here at the end. My original pattern, we just slip stitched down the chain, but I like to give it a little extra something. You can just slip stitch if you want to, or you could do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, and in my second chain from my hook, I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop. I have 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to yarn over again, go back right in that chain, pull up a loop. So now I have 4 loops. I'm just going to pull through all 4 of those loops. It just creates a little bobble there just for a little decorative touch. And now I'm just going to slip stitch across this chain that I made. So this is the first half of my tie for my ruffly top here. I think I called it a party top because I guess it would be something you would wear to a party. So I'm going to keep going here, working my slip stitch up my chain, and I will meet you back. Alright, so here is my first half of my tie. I slip stitch across my chain. So now we are going to continue. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch there. And we're going to repeat what we did for this tie. So I am going to chain 50, work my little bobble here at the end, and slip stitch up my chain. So I am going to do that. Alright, so I have finished my second tie. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to single crochet around. So we're going to work 24 more single crochet, and then we will have a total of 51. And then I'm going to change to my contrasting color. Okay, so I have worked my 24 single crochet, so now we have a total of 51 single crochet. I've changed to my other color, my off-white that I'm using for my trim. Now you can make this all the same color, or you could have different colors for the ruffles. You know, it could definitely be a stash busting project. And now I'm going to join in the front loop of that first stitch to complete round 1 of our trim here. So now we're ready for round 2. So I'm going to chain 1, and we are going to work that reverse single crochet or crab stitch in the front loop. So just in that next stitch, and working that crab stitch there. And the reason why we're doing it in the front loop is because of where the ties are. It's just going to be easier to work in the front loops across those ties. So I'm going to keep going, working my final round, and I will meet you back. Okay, so at the end of this round you can cut your yarn as I did here, and then when you're finishing, what I usually do is I just kind of tack it down like that. I'll take this end and then just weave it through like that. Actually, I did it not here, so here you can see that it looks pretty seamless there, so it's not too difficult when you're finishing. So here is the front of our top. I think it's pretty cute. So I just did a slight modification from my original pattern. It's really not a whole lot different. I just switched up how I did the ties, and I just added the little decorative ends there, but everything else is basically the same. So how to dress your doll, what you're going to do is you're going to stick the legs in first, just shimmy it up, and then you're going to tie this around the neck like a halter top style, and then it's all set for wearing. And of course you need to weave in all of your ends and block your project if you want to, a little bit gently, which I probably will do. This is a little bit of a stiff acrylic, so just to kind of give it a little bit more pliability, I'll probably just hit it with a little steam. But I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.